Hey, good morning everybody, it's Bobby, and today I want to talk about the proper uncoiling on the downswing. The purpose of the backswing is to put you in a position from which the correct downswing can occur naturally. And what you're trying to do to store energy, give you some hit on the way down, is to turn your shoulders ideally 90 degrees. But the hips have to join in to some degree, but they shouldn't be willing participants. In other words, the shoulders turn back as far as they can go alone, and the hips only turn when the shoulders simply can't go any farther without the hips. All right, and so the shoulders go, eventually they continue turning, here come the hips, and the degree to which your shoulders turn beyond the limits of your hips, that's the degree of coil, power-producing coil you have in your golf swing, in your backswing. So the key then, because it's stored energy, is to not lose it. And this would be an example of losing it. I've stored my shoulder turn, I've only got a little bit of hip action, hip turn on the backswing. If I then start the downswing with my shoulders, I've already spent all that wonderful coil that I developed so carefully. And so what we want to do then, if the shoulders take the club back, what do you suppose starts the downswing? Oh, I know, the hips. That way you can still maintain the separation between the two on the downswing. The most important thing you can do to develop this, and if you haven't been swinging like this, it's a toughie. And most people, particularly those who feel like they're lacking distance and not getting much out of their tee shots, are in probably a very long-standing habit of losing this coil, even if they've developed it at all. The problem is this shoulder. We're holding onto the club with our hands. Our hands are connected to our arms, arms are connected to our shoulders. So our instinct tells us, as we're trying to deliver a powerful hit, to get things started right now, to willingly take that shoulder toward the ball. And in doing so, even though that feels like a brute strength move, it's just the squandering of all your stored energy. And so what you've got to do is you've got to train this shoulder to not only to not get in the fight early, but try to stay out of the fight completely. The shoulders don't do anything in the way of moving aggressively toward the ball. They get dragged in. So I'm trying to keep this shoulder, not only is it not going this way, I'm trying to keep it back here the entire downswing. Don't let that happen. And so if you can feel like on the downswing, as your legs are doing what they want to beneath you, this shoulder should stay back. Now let's do just a couple of simple, easy swings that way. I've got my shoulder here, and I'm going to allow the lower body to do its thing. And I want to still be able to see this shoulder somewhere here. If it disappears on me prior to impact, I know that I've spent my stored energy on the way down. So here's an easy swing. And that felt like I couldn't have swung any easier, and probably got 85% of the pop that I would have had I swung hard. So I'm going to go take these shoulders back. And again, don't let this happen. Don't turn. Let the belt buckle and this left hip lead the way, but keep the shoulder back. Once you can do that, then you're going to find that ball just jumps off there. And so if you have to do that in front of a mirror, if you have to do that with slow swings, remember, your instinct when you're trying to hit the ball hard is to do it with the left shoulder, if you're the victim of this bad habit that I'm talking about. And so in the beginning, you don't want to try to swing hard because your instinct will take over. Do this free of the responsibility of hitting it hard, and think of this as a leisurely thing. Just keep the shoulder back. Train yourself to just simply keep the shoulder back. And you'll find that ball jumps off of there. You'll have nice post-impact extension. If you've ever been accused of chicken winging, that just means you're not uncoiling properly. Your arms are passing your hips, and that's why everything gets shorter. Okay? So an indication that you're uncoiling properly is you'll see a whole lot of post-impact extension. Not just with any part of you, but with the whole of you going toward the target, and you'll have it. So let me say it one more time. We're trying to train this shoulder to stay back, to not only not initiate it, but to do everything it can to stay out of the fight. You're trying to keep the shoulder this way the whole downswing, and by doing so, you'll uncoil properly. By the way, I have something for you. I've been meaning to say this for a couple of weeks. I've got a little ebook that I wrote called The 1, 2, 3s of Golf, and if you want that, all you've got to do is text my name, B-O-B-B-Y, to this number. It's on the screen, 855 Go Golf 1. I've got it written on the screen, so if you don't want to figure out what those letters are in the way of numbers, then just the numbers on the screen there. But it's my name, text my name, that's the message you're sending to this number, 855 Go Golf 1, and you will get the ebook. It's the 1, 2, 3s of golf that I've written. It's what I consider the 3 most important aspects of the grip, of posture, of swing plane, of downhill lies, of uphill lies, every aspect of golf that I could think of, the 3 most important keys, and it's yours free just by texting my name to that number. And I want to also, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.